What do you really think about Joe Rogan? I was on his podcast once. I was a little nervous, but he immediately made me feel comfortable. We started talking about my work, and I was surprised at how much he knew about it. He had done his research and asked me questions that no one else had ever asked. It was clear he was genuinely interested in what I had to say. We talked for hours, and I felt like I could be myself around him. He didn't judge me for my opinions, even when we disagreed. He listened and asked thoughtful questions. After the podcast, we went out for dinner. He insisted on paying, even though I offered to split the bill. He said it was his way of thanking me for coming on the show. We talked about our families, and he told me about his daughters. He was so proud of them and talked about how he wanted to be a good role model for them. I could tell he was a great dad. Before I left, he gave me a hug and told me he enjoyed our conversation. He said he learned a lot from me, which meant a lot coming from someone like him. I left feeling like I had made a new friend. A few weeks later, I got a package in the mail from him. It was a book we had talked about on the podcast, and he had written a note inside thanking me for coming on the show. It was such a thoughtful gesture, and it meant a lot to me.